So I love to hear stories, dragon stories. We all have different kind of stories to tell. Wherever our path is going, it's going to be leading to a different place than where you are. For example, my place is going to be very different than yours. And it's actually very interesting to hear your story, to hear where your path is going and what kind of dreams you had, what kind of an experience you had, and feelings that you have for your dragons. Of course, we are very much related to each other. We have all draconic energy surrounding us. So it's all connecting to each other. And in all of these years, I've heard a lot of stories from draconic stories that is going inside of our lives, that we make a path where there is no path, and that we also have a lot of dreams and visions, feelings, a lot of feelings for our dragons. So I want to actually tell one of these feelings that someone had, someone that I know for years, that we actually talk to each other for years. And if you want to submit your story, maybe I just also want to make know a video about that, because the most interesting stories is actually all of these stories are interesting, but I might want to actually make a video out of it, because it's every dragon story is so different. It's so beautiful actually. So this one is about Eric. Eric I know for a lot of years. He comes from Canada, and he had something to say, something that I wanted to share with you about something that happened on Friday, sorry, the 2023, and the 30th June, sorry, that happened to him. So it was a morning on the 30th of June, and I woke up and I had an intense, chaotic, powerful, draconic transformation inside of my dreams. And it didn't felt like a dream, but it felt like a vision of me transforming into a 400-foot black Chinese dragon. I'll try my best to describe what happened, but my transformation was painful and chaotic. I was in Sandbury in an open area, close to the Lake Ramsey, and I was raging of someone or something, I don't know what, I was angry about nor who. So I screamed and yelling violently, and suddenly my body was changing from in a serpent. My arm and hands started to transform into claws. My body started to grow long as a serpent body, and eyes turned dark red, and my pupils turned draconic into draconic eyes. When I was raging and screaming, my dragon roar was loud and deep. It was like an earthquake, crumbling and tearing up the earth crust, and suddenly my face and head transforming into a Chinese dragon head and snout would I look like. Snout, black, long snout, black beard, long, huge whiskers like a koi fish, sharp teeth, and such, like a Chinese dragon. It's like he transformed inside of his vision in a Chinese dragon that I came to know a lot, like Drake. He has a very sensitive part in his arm. His arm is like my chest is, the entrance to his body, to his soul, that you can say that is very much very sensitive. We all have something, very sensitive body part in with ourselves, and that is most of the time your entrance to your soul. Your soul, the draconic soul, the heart of your draconic soul is there. With me, it's my chest, you can say. So, let me continue. My head started to grow horns of a stag, and my hair was black flowing into the wind. My transformation was painful and chaotic. The sky turned even red, and the clouds was forming thunderclouds. Lightning was striking everywhere, even in my red aura was flowing all the time. The roar was so loud it can be heard on 100 or till 500 miles away. After my transformation, I was completely a fully fledged Chinese dragon. I looked around and growling and snarling loud and deep. I gave out a massive loud roar, and one last time. After that, I took off flying to the sky with a gust of wind when I took off. While I was flying to the sky, I was free and such no more being a useless human being, I said to myself without not opening my mouth. Anyway, all I remember was that transformation was 100% accurate. It wasn't no dream, just a dream that meant nothing, but it was a message from my father. After my vision, I woke up sweating and my body was overheating like crazy. I opened my eyes and I saw my right arm twitching, and my body was so heavy I couldn't even get up right and away. After a few minutes, I got up from bed and grabbed a cold glass of water and took a cold shower. After that, I looked at myself in the mirror and I saw Drake. My father was looking at me. You know, I heard a lot of stories about Drake, my brother Eric, very much, and I have to say, I there was a moment when I was talking to you that I even had a glimpse of Drake. You have indeed a very powerful dragon by your side. I always said that. I never said. I mean, I was so close to you that I could even see your dragon eye, your dragon energy, your aura. It was even going as far away as from Canada to Belgium that I could even, that is how strong a connection with dragons is. You can be far away, yet you can do so much with each other's energy. So yeah, so my father was looking at me from the other side and saw myself as the black Chinese dragon. So this happened on the June the 30th, and what I dreamed about was a reflection of who I am and what I am within. That vision was real. It felt too real. I don't know what to say, but while writing this, I don't know what to think of it. I actually know what to think of it, my brother. Whatever you had inside of your dream, that was a draconic transformation that was causing because of your rage, because of your emotions, even though you don't know where your emotions come from. Sometimes a dragon has emotions and the dragon don't know where it comes from. It comes from deep within, from your energy, you can say. And you have indeed, what I can say, a very powerful dragon by your side, but it's connecting to also another very powerful dragon, and that is yourself, of course. Yourself, that is actually very much draconic, you can say, and that is why we talk to each other so many times, and why we are so, interested in each other's story, because we are so much connected to each other because of our draconic energies. And sometimes I also have dreams of transforming inside of a dragon. Of course, I don't have to take it underneath. I can be honest about this. I have a lot of dreams where I transform into the dragon, and there I could even see that I was brown colored. That you can say you are more like black Chinese, like Oriental style, while I was more like brown, more like Western style. I mean, it's not like to brag like I am a dragon or something like this. Of course not. But it happens. It's just a phenomenon. It's how we are born to be. We are born with a dragon's eye, a dragon's circle. We have dragons around us, surrounding us. And I can only say to the world, if you are triggered by the name of dragon, then you have to let the dragon through. That means that you have something more about it. Um, there are a lot of people that who actually force themselves as well so that they don't let their dragon come true, because their entire life they hear that they don't exist or it's not real. Or I can say to you, the dragon is very much real, and they are closer as you might even think. The dragon is very much real and very close to you, and you have to know, whenever you hear the name dragon and you are triggered by it, then I'm very much sure that you have a dragon by your side. So yeah, thank you for sharing your that piece of story that you had, my brother. It's um it's actually very interesting how to see a very painful transformation. Yeah, it's painful, isn't it? It's actually very much the same as me, even though it's just a dream, you can say, but it's not just a dream. It's too real. We remember every detail of it, and you know, how we act like a dragon. It remains with us, even if we are still a human. If we wake up and we are like. like it still remains with us, you know. It's how we are, it's what we are, it's very much connected to us, how, you know. And that is what a dragon does, and that is what I think happens here. You know, dragons are amazing manipulators inside of dreams and visions, and they can let you see who you truly are. Your dragon is always by your side, and if you let the dragon in, so that your dragon can show you through visions who you truly are. And that is also what can happen to you. Let your dragon in to show you who you truly are. Of course, in these dreams, it doesn't mean that you're not going to have pain. Draconic transformation is very, very painful and slow, and your mind is starting to change into much more draconic, and your humanity will be left behind. It's something completely new, and it's something that where we can be surprised of this going, if this is happening. We will never be prepared or something from something like this. It's your dragon that says, here and now you have to know. Whenever you were, I mean, you know, whenever I saw your dragon, by the way, my brother, I always saw all of the energies of every animals as one. You know that your body is actually made out of it. You don't, you know, you are from Canada, but I have to say to the people, you don't have to be coming from China or Japan to have an Oriental dragon by your side. Of course not. These are these can be everywhere. It doesn't mean, for example, that Quetzalcoatl is your main dragon god, that you need to come from Mexico. That is the same thing, of course. Everyone in the world can have a Chinese dragon by their side. You know, dragons can have all kinds of appearances. For example, they can be Asian, they can be European, they can be wyverns, they can be even just serpents and or winged serpents. They can, you know, dragons have a lot of appearances, and they are seen in a lot of different kind of ways. And that is also what happened to you. I mean, whenever you were born, Drake was always with you. Drake was always being your guardian angel, you can say, always touching you on your left arm, wherever you are very sensitive. This is indeed the entrance of your soul, you can say, your draconic soul. And so we had a lot of years that we can talk to each other, and I'm very grateful of this, to talk with someone about dragons, because back in the day I was very, very afraid to talk about dragons. And we shouldn't be afraid. We should be proud of talking about our dragons. So you know, we shouldn't be afraid of anything. You know, we should actually be much more proud of who we are. And I would appreciate it if you would also submit on YouTube or on Facebook your story. And I might also want to tell your story, because like I said, every draconic story is so different, and every one of them is so interesting to read about. So keep on, you know, like my brother Eric did, his piece of story that he had on the 30th of June that he had. But there is much more to it, of course. A draconic story is like something that can happen years ago. I mean, mine happened 17 years ago. My story happened 17 years ago, and this story still continues. So yeah, I told my story many times, so I hope to hear a lot of stories from you as well.